Welcome to another edition of Mass Mats and Mayhem. I'm your host, the Outlaw LA Red. Got a new LA Red hat going on. You can find me on Twitter at JustinHarvey75. You can find the entire show all across social media at MMMshow75. Byron's in the subway. Casey's been playing Spider-Man all day, right, Case?
Yeah, and I boycott subways because I'm not friends with sex offenders. So, yeah.
Who's Byron's the guy next to Byron? Hi, Byron. Hi, Byron. We're live.
Hey, Byron, is that Josh Barnett next to you? Because that dude looks like Josh Barnett.
This is Josh Barnett, too. And I'm on headphones. You can't hear him.
Oh, that's probably better.
It's my friend Blake. We did get... Whoa, I got to go.
Later.
What, go like you're getting off the train, gotta go? Or go like you gotta get off the show, gotta go?
I had to get off the train. I dropped some stuff. I did the usual thing I do.
How are you a New Yorker? You're like the worst New Yorker ever.
Hey, forget about it, right?
Right, forget about it.
No, that's New Jersey, bro.
That's a little more Jersey. A little more Jersey. Anyway, well, I'm glad we have you a little bit, Byron. Anything you want to talk about?
Yeah, watch how cool this shot's gonna be.
Okay, I'll leave your camera on while I'm talking because your shot's way more interesting than mine.
Dude, you should have Blake tombstone you on top of the escalator like that Triple H one from Shotgun Saturday Night. It would be fucking sweet.
Blake, they want you to tombstone me on the escalator. He doesn't. He's not gonna do it.
Damn it.
Yeah, I like how you told him he wasn't gonna do it. You're a smarter man than I think sometimes, Mr. Byron. Smarter than I think.
Ooh, watch this. This is going to be fun.
This is the strangest show, people. I haven't even tweeted the fact that we're live yet. Maybe I should put the link out there.
Yeah.
Byron, keep entertaining people while I post the link to this thing that we do.
So today we had the first, well, there's been some scenes, but like the first real main event storyline and goal finishing fight match that was shot cinematically on the roof and in some rooms. And
now, Byron, do you think that they did that because last season after the snake fight in the locker room or whatever, you requested more behind the scenes matches? Basically?
That was a specific Byron request. 100%.
It really was.
Here's the thing, it was a request of mine, but it is not something exclusively wanted by me. I think it's something they wanted to do, and it's something that they wanted to do with Catrina in her matches, which makes sense to me because she can work, but she's not a worker. You know what I mean?
And she's a ghost, so she can teleport and shit, and you got to use that, and you don't do that in front of people.
She's actually a pretty solid worker when she's practicing a lot, which probably she hasn't been doing because she's mostly been valeting for the last 2 years.
Right. She's out of practice with that. But also, to Casey's point, even though she's not a ghost in this scene.
Oh, yeah, that's right. She's a human, right? Yeah.
But in the past scenes, she has been, and in general, she and Mill and Phoenix have had, and Melissa have had one of the more developed, deeper stories of Lucha Underground. So there's a lot to tell, there's a lot to do, and to make sure people notice all the subtleties, which lends itself to more of a cinematic sequence as opposed to a live match.
Yeah.
And also, she fucking died. Being dropped from a building. You're not going to do that live.
Well,
and look,
I'm not going to make the joke. I'm not going to make it. You guys know where I was going. Never mind.
Do we?
No, poor taste. That's in poor taste.
Let's just say it's happened.
Kansas City. That's in poor taste. I'm not going to jump in on that joke.
But yet you are.
No, I'm not. I'm letting you know what it is.
But I wasn't. It wasn't a joke. It was a statement. If it was a joke, I'd be laughing, and I'd never laugh at that. Fuck.
Anyway, I mean, as someone who shoots and films and is a filmmaker, Blake, stop laughing. There's, when you shoot sequences and action scenes, there's a style of shooting where you do coverage, where you get all the shots that visually explain step by step what happens. And something that Lucha Underground and Skip have been doing is they don't do the step-by-step stuff. They do a very stylized, you know, it's a much more stylized version.
Yeah, like
So,
why shoot a master shot if you're not going to use it, kind of thing, right?
yeah, so like you can have, there's a cool shot where there's like a weird 180-degree spin that looks weird until like
Oh yeah, the
precisely
180
cuts
upside
to
down spin, and then
shot from above the stairs.
yeah, I love the 180 flip around. But then
Like that,
seconds later, Melissa comes through the door and it's right side up again, which is kind of fun. It was great stuff, though. It was very pulpy, very grindhouse style stuff that is what you would expect on El Rey Network.
100%. And something with low budget filmmaking. I'm not a New York walker yet, so I have to actually slow jog to keep up. But one thing that they do is, like in low budget filmmaking, you're going to see a lot of extreme close-ups because you don't have the budget for a set or a budget for wide shots. Okay. So,
well, yeah, like, and we were talking to EB Dub about this last week. Their budget was worse this year, and yet I honestly have to say I'm seriously liking a lot of these vignettes better than shit they've done than the shit from last season by a long shot.
So all their shots are interesting and serve a purpose, which is great because you don't fuck around with, like Casey said, a white shot you're not going to use. You're going to get the one shot you're going to use.
It just all really means we have to get Skip Chasen on this show. I have to go back. We had him all lined up at one point, but that was when the fucking stupid hiatus hit, and it all went to shit because they were waiting. They wanted to send Skip on the show when there was something to promote. And then when there finally was something to promote, we were all busy, and Skip was busy again doing other stuff, and it just never happened. But we got to make that happen because he is a huge part of the show that I don't know that anyone's ever heard of, especially in the wrestling world. I mean, they've heard of him, but they haven't heard from him.
There's going to be something about Lucha Underground that is eternal, and it's not going to be like there's a lot that goes into it. And I don't want to discredit all the other pieces, but yeah.
Don't want to interrupt you. I'm gonna run ahead and put our name in. I sent you the address.
If I just walk
Lafayette and the Delphi.
Okay.
What are you guys trying to? You guys got a hot date? Where are you guys going, Byron?
He's gonna go get seats, and I'm gonna walk slower, I guess.
Where are you guys going?
Going to a comedy show, Byron?
We're gonna go get some food. No, I'm homeless right now, so I don't go to shows. Although I'm going to, I think it's Warriors of Wrestling or something. I'm going somewhere in Staten Island to watch the King of the New York tournament. I'm gonna see a tournament, the King of New York. Darius Carter is gonna be there. He's a top, front runner for the title. Also, Sonny Kiss will be there. I think Sonny's gonna really pose a hard challenge, if not ultimately win. So I'm looking forward to that. But what I was saying
let's go, Sonny. Let's go, Sonny. I want Sonny Kiss to be the King of New York.
Sonny and Darius.
Cheers, Paul Cross. Cheers.
Cheers.
Go ahead.
I don't know where I see him now. So if you notice, I'm jaywalking because that's what you do. I'm badass. So,
well, we have evidence of a crime on this show now.
Is this the first time?
Oh, shit, I don't know. Yeah.
What I wanted to say, though, is that there are a lot of integral parts, but we have to Lucha Underground, but we've talked about how, and even Eric mentioned last week, how even with the characters and our best characters, there's a life cycle to their character arcs. This is a story-driven show. But also, more than that, this is a style-driven show. So characters will come and go. Stories will come and go. But Skip Chasen will be forever Lucha Underground and be what people regard, will be the reason why people regard Lucha Underground
as the
premier wrestling product to be represented on.
Breaking news, WWE has just signed Skip Chasen. No,
probably will. I mean, there's been a whole lot of talk this week about them coming after the Elite and coming after Penta and Phoenix. And again, go back to last week's episode too, and we directly asked Eric Van Wagenen what his thoughts were on it. I don't know. I'm up in the air about it. I've heard some people just flat out dismiss it as if it's complete and utter nonsense, which I don't ever believe is the case. We thought that at first with Ricochet, and you see where he is right now. And
but I do think that Penta is actually like actively fucking with people because he's linking to articles saying he got signed to NXT on his own Facebook now, which is hilarious.
I think
and maybe he is.
Ricochet, there was a pattern, and you could also see there's a history of that's what he wanted to do ever since he was a young boy.
Yeah,
so
he always said that's where he wanted to go.
Well, look, and Penta is surrounded by a lot of smart people. Like, he's got Ruben around sometimes. He's got Conan around. He's got his bro. You know, he's got a lot of smart guys around. And if they're smart, the only thing that could happen from flaming this fire a little bit and making people think that it is a possibility is for his price tag to go up even more.
Exactly. This is more money on the indie. Hey, guys, it's going to be my last fucking show before I go to NXT. So there's a lot of bids. You might want to throw in some extra cash to it, you know, that kind of shit.
Yeah, and even if there's no actual interest from WWE, what's the other thing that could happen? They could see all this hype and people wanting him to come, and then all of a sudden they could be like, "Oh, we didn't really give this guy an offer, but maybe we should."
Yeah, this sounds like a good idea. Yeah, exactly. Like AJ Styles, who they weren't originally going to sign, or Nakamura, who they weren't originally going to sign, and they saw the buzz that people wanted them, you know?
Yeah. And, you know, it just boggles my mind. Anybody who is a so-called journalist or even a podcaster in the wrestling business in any fashion, if you are the guy that says never, you're an idiot. You can't. There's no such thing as the word never in the wrestling business. It should not exist.
Chris Jericho said he's only working for Vince McMahon. Then he sort of said only in North America. Next thing you know, he's partnering with Ring of Honor and Impact, and still doing WWE shows in the same calendar year. But like, he might show up on Impact, but they're definitely gonna work with. And he's working New Japan.
You know, it really blew my mind. I had no idea that Chris Jericho was Pentagon this whole time. And we've been watching him wrestle and like buying masks, and he didn't even sound Canadian, bro.
Yeah, I guess Canadian, you spell Bayron with an A.
Yeah.
I love that story. So let me just quickly blaze through the rest of the episode of Lucha Underground. It was okay. There was nothing major, though. I got to say, I'm going to go backwards for a second because the Penta driver that Pentagon delivered to Hernandez was insane. I couldn't believe he pulled it off. He folded him up perfectly. Hernandez took it perfectly. And in fact, I will give Big Sean Hernandez major props on how he wrestled that whole match. That's probably the best I've seen him look in a long time. He actually turned it up a notch. I like him also playing to the crowd that he was going to throw Pentagon through the bowling alley of chairs. It was just like,
and then he didn't.
F you guys. And finally, the baby nuts chant, loud and clear, at least 5 or 6 times.
Oh, nice.
And then he refuted the chant, too. That was also loud and clear. So
I mean, and Pentagon kind of put it in the storyline, too. It was great.
Oh, I loved him yelling. He was like, "You son of a bitch, get the fuck in here," in his own words. But I just love it. It's like pure unadulterated, like Skeleton Ninja rage.
Well, I mean, the translations were a little funny too, because he's like, you know, "Chinga tu madre, Hernandez," and then, you know, the translation is "come get some."
Yeah, that's pretty hilarious. That's what happens when they expect half audiences honkies, by the way.
So we got a spot at the bar right now. We can grab a drink. And
is it just you and me?
Yeah. MG said she's too tired.
Oh.
Tired of your shit, Byron.
But you don't have to rush off. I'll be at the bar, but like you gotta, when she calls our name, we gotta jump on it. I'll jump on it.
Yeah, we'll let him go. I mean, yeah.
I'm almost done. With these fuck faces.
So, and then before that, you had Killshot and Steve Payne.
Big Bad Steve. By the way, how awesome is how much fun does Melissa have when she announces Big Bad Steve?
A lot. Oh, you know, I that's the one thing I wanted to add about that opening segment. People, Melissa Santos came back to work. We were speculating that she wouldn't even be at Lucha Underground. That woman had a baby like 6 weeks before the taping started. And by the time she shot that vignette, maybe it had been 2.5 months, maybe 3 at most.
2.5 months, and she's throwing people off of fucking buildings.
I mean, she looked great the whole season. Like we would show up there with newbies and people who hadn't been to Lucha Underground before, including Vanilla Ice, and we would just be like, Yeah. She just had a kid. She's got
No
like
one believed us.
a newborn, and they would not believe us at all.
That was a legit like Jason Bourne fight scene. It wasn't like fake movie punches in the face. It was like, you would know more than me, but there was real fight psychology, real like punches to the ribs.
Yeah,
real physicality.
And the arm bar was legit. It wasn't a cross arm breaker, and it wasn't BS wrestling. It was actually thrown the right way.
Yeah.
You know, those girls look like they worked really hard on that. So kudos to them. Big Bad Steve, love him carrying Brenda down to the ring. Also, what a gentleman. I would let Big Bad Steve fix my car in a heartbeat.
Yeah.
Is that a euphemism for something sexual?
Yes.
That was I gotta go, but I just want to point out that I loved that match and the amount of restraint that there was in that match to play to the story of this guy had a broken ankle and he's back, and Killshot's a dick, so he only worked the ankle until he could kick him in the head and pin him.
Byron, you want to say anything about All In before you leave? Because we're going to talk All In a second here.
I thought it was fun. I didn't watch everything yet, but I thought it was fun. I thought it was a great show, and I'm really happy it went down.
Did you watch the Penis Druids?
I haven't seen that yet. People seem to be upset as far as, you know, as long as Justin's parenting gets put into question, I'm happy it happened. And, but, you know, it's wrestling. It's like, you don't get upset about that. People bring it up like Val Venus. Like, yeah, there was a porn star wrestler. Also, there's a gimmick where someone's going to get his penis chopped off. Also, just these guys, you know, in general, let's be real. Like, they're carny scumbags. We love them for it, but penis costumes is not the line to draw on. It's not the hill to die on.
I mean, look, it was definitely a special moment, and it was something you weren't going to get somewhere else.
I'm just glad it wasn't blurred out for the Japanese version on New Japan World, because I thought it would be.
Yeah. No, it was great. Everything about it was great. I had fun watching it, and I look forward to watching the other matches. I think it was a mature thing, but it also kind of sucked that the main with the Bucks got cut short, and you know they could have done an hour if they, you know, had it. And it was their show, so they would have had every right to do it.
Yeah, I felt like they were a little lost in that match from time to time. Like, I think they went to the stair spot ahead of time because everyone was running over to it, the ramp spot, and like a couple other moments that felt a little off because they were rushing for time. But hey, this is what happens on your own show. You give up the time to the other people, and Joey's parade of penises, and this is, you know, this is what you get.
Well, two things that I read that happened that our friend, I'm going to forget his name, Time Splitter.
Aerostar?
Norm?
No. Norm, Norm.
Other Time Splitter.
A couple things from the Q&A. Norm is awesome, by the way. Shout out to Norm. The Bucks said that one Marty went 12 minutes long.
Which he denies. He says he went 1 minute long, and the whole show went 12 minutes long.
Well, here's my thing. If you're wrestling Okada on the biggest independent show in the whole world, you take as much as you can get. Who cares?
Right.
But also, he said that they had to finish him. Bandito broke it up, so they had to survive.
Totally not surprised.
Whoops. But I thought it was cool. And the Jericho surprise was awesome. And you know what? He went there to promote his next match with Kenny on his cruise. And that's great because the cruise is another big one for independent wrestling.
Yeah, I think so. I mean, I won't give it like, you know, a 10 out of 10, but I'll give it a solid 7 or 8. I thought it was really good. You know, it was fun.
It was definitely, yeah. I think it was solid and it delivered, like you said. And I think there's the added bonus of it being independently done. I mean, it's a Ring of Honor show. Let's also be honest about that.
It was. In a lot of ways, it was more of a Ring of Honor show than kind of as independent as I wanted it to be.
But it was the WWE in a 10,000-seat arena, and it was sold out right away, and there's going to be more, so it's great. I got to go.
All right, brother. Man. Thanks for chiming in, Byron. Get the hell out of here, son of a bitch.
Thanks for having me.
Get the fuck out of here, Byron.
Stay out of trouble, boys.
Jack on a jackass.
Wow, I wonder who said so. That was fun. That was actually, we have to do this more often when Byron is pressed for time. That's like the most poignant I think he's ever been on this entire show, like since the very beginning.
So. He was dropping some knowledge. Also, for those of you that play Fire Pro Wrestling World, I want all of you to change Byron's breathing stats to below average because you saw that motherfucker's got no wind.
He was gassed, dude. He was gassed. And this is the fool that wants to be a New Yorker. Like, come back to LA, bro, where you can just get in your car and drive to that shit.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
And you don't even pick up your buddies. Everybody drives separate.
Yeah, you just show up.
And then you leave your car and Uber home and then try to go find your car the next day. That's the LA way.
Also the LA Parkway.
The other thing I have to say about last night's Lucha Underground is this shirt was seen, and this is now officially an as seen on television shirt. And it wasn't just people in the crowd wearing it, though. I got to give a big shout out to my boy Kevin Flynn, who was also seen rocking the gray big logo MMMshow shirt. I'm in there wearing a white one for the first match and then a different one some other time because yesterday's episode was once again another one that was filmed on like 3 separate days.
Wait, was the different one the Where is Casey shirt then? Because it might have been, right?
No, we didn't have Where's Casey yet. Where's Casey? I don't know if we had him before Ultima.
Oh, that's right. It was.
I think the first day of Ultima, that's not really Ultima Lucha, just the lead up day, I think is the only day that we're wearing the Where's Casey shirt. So we'll see if we'll see him on there or not.
Interesting.
Our second most popular shirt. This one is our third most popular, but we got a few more sales this week, thanks to Stryker, and it is available again. Check down below if you're in SoundCloud or YouTube. Down below, there's a link to our Teespring page where you can pick up the merch. So. And this is a nice shirt because this is on like the athletic fit. So if you're swole, like I don't really fill this shirt out like I used to. I'm sure Jim is somewhere pouring one of these onto himself right now.
Yeah. It's great, Jim. You're buff. We know you can wear a baggy shirt once in a while. Fuck.
And thanks to Jim, I have released them in tank top sizes this week. Jim has some very kind lady friends that have purchased shirts from us in the past. So I also did a ladies tank top for the Jimettes, as I like to call them, for any of the friends of Jim who happen to be lovely ladies who would love to represent the logo.
Can we change his name to Swole Ass Jim? Is that
Swole
like
Ass Jim?
Swole
I know.
Ass
I mean,
Jim?
he's not that big though. Jim is doing okay. Here's my thing about the Jim Skay. This dude, and he's doing it kind of like Shinsuke does too. It's like he's hitting the gym enough that he's in good shape. He can wear all the clothes he wants. He can wear them tight, but he's not like trying to get ripped and all bulkied out. You know, he's not hitting the protein shakes beforehand or anything. You know,
I think he's juicing. That's all. I think he's juicing.
I don't know, man. He's doing better than me because we're about the same frame, and he can fit into like 2 sizes smaller of a shirt than I ever will see again in my life.
But it's okay, Justin. You fit in 2 size larger underwear. Just remember that.
Always. Yes, we're gonna change the name of the show tonight to Mass Mats and Martinis. Cheers. This is another special edition right here. I use the coffee mug though to keep it honest, right?
Yeah, to keep it fucking classy.
Well, it's like the late night talk show host, like Carson or Leno or whoever. I'm sure they had booze in those things.
Oh, Carson probably. Yeah.
They put a coffee mug out there. They're not drinking coffee.
No, it's usually human piss. They're on the Machida diet. And allegedly. I mean, we don't have to say allegedly with Machida drinking piss. He drinks piss.
Yeah. But yeah, big shout out again to Stryker for rocking that shirt. It was the shirt that he won as the de facto line champion of the Lucha Underground name game. And that is only because Casey was otherwise preoccupied with school. It was a terrible time of year for Casey to hit tapings.
Yes, it was.
So one of these days, but Stryker is currently the champion. I mean, we didn't have a lot of showdowns this year at the line. There also wasn't the same kind of line. But if Lucha Underground heads back to the old temple, like I think it might, there might be a little more of a lineup situation or a little more outside fun. So hopefully if Casey's schedule permits and there's a season 5, we will actually settle this whole thing with an actual face-to-face competition between you two guys.
Shit, hold on a second, Justin. So does that mean that when I destroy Matt Stryker, when I make him beg for mercy, that all I'm going to win is a fucking Matt Stryker shirt?
No, not at all. It doesn't mean that at all. It means you're going to win a Mass Mats and Mayhem shirt that you probably already have.
Hey, you know what? I could go
better?
for 2. I could go for 2. You know why? Because then I will be like the handsome Kevin Flynn, the best looking person wearing the Mass Mats and Mayhem shirt this week, and have multiple Mass Mats and Mayhem shirts.
I got to tell you, man, Kevin Flynn definitely knows how to rock an MMMshow shirt.
Damn right. That's why we're changing his name to Walking Sex Kevin Flynn. That is his new name. Yes.
Yeah. Walking Sex. Because Big Sexy's already taken.
Exactly. By me.
So how did you feel about, we never really talked about the Kill Shot, Big Bad Steve match, and we never talked about Joey wrestling. Holy sacrifice. Wow. So I can't even believe they bothered to give him a name. Just for that. They just, and I shouldn't say just for that, because honestly, he put in a better showing than the next best guy, who was actually Vinny Massaro at this point. Vinny Massaro lasted longer with Matanza in a sacrifice match than anyone else until Joey Wrestling, because of course DJ couldn't even let Vinny have that.
Yeah, shit, man. I got a little bit of a thing to say, you know?
Yep.
Okay, you know how we're like, this show is special. It kills people, you know? And now it's like you watch a Friday the 13th movie and 20 people fucking die. You don't give a shit about any of them. None of these people getting sacrificed are Crispin Glover. You know, as much as I love Vinny, sorry, you're not Crispin Glover, bro. But
he got the biggest reaction, though, of all the deaths. Like, there was a lot of people out there. You know, he got a lot more of a reaction on Twitter, you know.
Dude, that fucked my head up. You don't kill Vinny. That's fucking bullshit, man. It's just to set up zombie Vinny. I mean,
I hope so. I hope so. But I mean, that's the other thing now. You look at the other side of it, especially with Phoenix now coming back. You know, some of the deaths have to count for something too. They can't all come back.
Right.
And they haven't all come back, but a few have.
Well, actually, I guess the only one that's really come back is Mil Muertes. Like, well, and Puma.
No, and Jeremiah Crane now has officially been resurrected, and now Phoenix.
That's right. Did they ever explain how Jeremiah Snake even got resurrected? Yeah.
Nope.
That's interesting.
But, you know, maybe that's smart with the fact that they're playing up the Phoenix one a lot more now.
Yeah. Yeah.
So,
either that or they're like, you know, it'll be Casey's problem when he takes over the writing for the show.
Yeah, because, and I wonder if they'll lead back to any evil eastness with it. But there's definitely, this is the time of the season that I kind of like, because you can see in the show kind of DJ's wheels turning and churning on stuff, and, you know, starting to set up where we're going to head for Ultima Lucha. You know, nothing has really been announced for Ultima Lucha. We only know that Dragon Azteca plans to try to get all the way to Ultima Lucha with his Gift of the Gods belt. And then defend it there. And other than that, I don't think this time anything's been set up. Like last year, we had the Evil East match set up at the very first episode, and that was set up all the way for the end, and then she wasn't there.
Right, yeah, yeah.
She's clearly having a much better season this year. But I'm also noticing things like Vampiro is constantly commenting on Pentagon playing babyface to the crowd. And I love it too, because he's like, you know, and he interrupts Stryker to do it too. Like, it's clearly a storyline thing, but it's like he will interrupt Stryker and be like, yeah, why is this bitch motherfucker playing to the crowd again? He deserves to get hit in the face. Like, why is he doing all this Cerro Miedo shit and waiting for the crowd reaction and blah, blah, blah. And, you know, spoken like a true heel. And I don't know where it's going, but
yeah. For the love of God, play my music. Play my music. Why am I waiting to get in the ring until my music fucking plays? You want to throw some fucking stones? Don't live in a glass house, motherfucker.
I love it. And it's completely appropriate.
I had to do it because he didn't say my name when I said I was going to beat Matt Stryker at the wrestling name game. It could have been anyone that said that.
If it's any consolation, he didn't really say mine either.
Yeah, that's true. That is true. Outlaw LA Reid. Oh man,
best mangling of a shout out ever. If you go back and watch the very beginning of the AAA show when Vampiro was just clearly just writing his own script. I don't even know what he was doing. It was amazing.
I really hope no fans shared popcorn with Son of Havoc, because you know there was beard hair all over that shit.
It's funny because the 2 times that there have been spots with talent sitting right there in my seat have been the 2 days that I wasn't in that seat.
Yeah.
So yeah, the day that Pentagon was pretending to be Cuerno and came out of that spot, I was sitting right next to it, caddy corner, but not in the bleachers that day, and then also not in the bleachers when Son of Havoc was doing his popcorn bit.
Which it looks like Cuerno wasn't too happy about that.
Nope.
Nope. Well, you know what? Since Meatloaf isn't here to talk about how great King Cuerno is, all I have to say is fuck him. Cero Miedo. Boom.
Hey, dude, I'll tell you what. I felt bad for Cuerno at the end of this whole thing because he got like X-Pac heat. Not that X-Pac ever got X-Pac heat, but he got X-Pac heat. Like putting in, and it's the same thing that happened to Cage too. It's like these guys that can be at the top of the card that are total players that people really do like. They put them in there in any kind of program with Pentagon, and it just kills their heat altogether. It wasn't good heel heat that he was getting. It was, we don't want to see you fuck with Pentagon heat. Like,
right, yeah.
Put somebody else in the program heat.
Mm-hmm.
And I just felt bad for him. It's like, oh man, put one of the white guys in there. Well, I guess Cage is though, but I mean, like, put Jake Strong or somebody else in there that like that the crowd can. But they see the crowd's kind of behind him too. Maybe this is the problem with Lucha Underground and people liking the heels so much in Lucha Underground or the Rudos, because Pentagon is a babyface, but he's a babyface Rudo, and it's almost impossible for anyone to match up to that because he's got all the face love and the heel heat.
Yeah, and it's great that they never really put Johnny Mundo and Pentagon together because they've been on the show, the writers, saying that they were basically scared to do that.
Yeah,
and,
I can see why.
But now Mundo's turning face, so it's even less likely to fucking happen. And I mean, kind of.
They put that Mundo has finally built himself into the same light where he's got like this tweener love. He's got this. He's got like the opposite character of Stone Cold Steve Austin, and somehow ended up in the same place. Yeah, where he does rotten, awful shit, but it's more on a comedy, not badass kind of level, and it works.
Kind of like Shawn Michaels, except he's doing all the rotten shit on camera instead of behind the scenes.
Right.
Yeah.
And it's totally working. I mean, he's way over the right way now. Yeah, but Cuerno, I just kind of felt bad for him. It's like, oh shit, you just got back in the title picture, and now look at how the crowd is reacting. Yeah. And and this is the crowd that has been wanting and clamoring for more luchadors at the top and whatnot, and then yet you finally get one there, and it's just like, nah. Boo.
Yeah, and Meef hated it so much that he fucking didn't want to do the show tonight.
I know.
That's how much he knows Pentagon's going to win. He's like, you know what? He completely outclassed my favorite wrestler just in the first appearance of this feud. So I'm not going to do the show. Actually, it was more like, right, I'm not going to do the show because I saw on the telly that Pentar was better than Cuerno Fantasmar.
He does do the ER thing instead of his A's, doesn't he?
It's, everyone over there does that. I mean, come on. I haven't been monitoring the chat, but I'm assuming they thought that was hilarious.
Let's see. Alexis and Paul are in there, and I don't know who else is in there. There's several people watching, but we also didn't announce or promote this episode at all. But I'm okay.
Hey, Paul, tell me I'm hilarious, motherfucker. I see you in there. Man, that was like 5 minutes ago that he commented anyway. But so this episode, double thumbs down.
Even with a Pentagon win, that doesn't fit your criteria though.
They killed off the second most interesting character in the show because they killed off the first most interesting character at the beginning of the season with Dario Cueto. Yeah,
and I don't think Catrina's coming back, guys. I just don't think she is. Maybe she is. I don't know, but I'm a little worried that may actually be the last time we see Carly Perez. I know she's doing a lot of acting. She's been doing seminars. She's been traveling around. She's got stuff going on. She came out to I think it was the first episode of The Contender, when I was there. And by the way, I'm not doing a contender review tonight on this episode because it hasn't aired yet. In fact, I think it's airing now. But
you
I will
don't
go back
need to
and
know
watch
that.
it. And next week, maybe I'll do a 2 for, or at least I'll talk about this one because I am going to watch it after I'm off. But I got to work at 4 a.m. tomorrow. So
shit, did they move the show?
Contender?
Yeah, wasn't it on like a different day of the week last week?
No, it was Friday. It was Friday
okay.
at 9. So I watched it at 6, and then we went on at 8.
Oh yeah, because we were waiting for Eric. Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
Okay.
So Eric was watching it and doing wrestling practice or something, and he came on after. But this week we went way earlier, which is, it is what it is.
So LU wasn't the only wrestling we watched this week, Justin.
What was the other wrestling you watched this week?
Fucking All In.
Oh yeah, All In. We talked about it a little bit with Byron, but yeah, we can talk about it.
That was a fun show, man.
I have to say, I hadn't seen much of Joey Janela. Like I saw a few. I catch like 1 or 2 things he does at WrestleCon every year. But I gotta say, him and Hangman was actually a pretty fun match.
Dude,
I really enjoyed that.
You gotta see him wrestle fucking Zandig, man. Oh, you gotta see
stuff.
Like Joey's deathmatch shit. That man is insane, dude. Like, I love his work because he will fucking do anything. Like, if Wang was to become a real promotion, Joey Janela would be my world television champion.
All right, I can see that. And I'm doing these in no particular order because I don't have any notes. I'm just kind of remembering.
That match was fun though, and
I thought that match was really fun. And who's his valet? She was great in that match too.
Oh fuck! God damn it! I can't remember her name. Last name was Ford, I think.
Yeah, whatever. She was great. She got involved in the right way. She actually hit a few good spots and the spots that looked good.
Yeah.
And I always appreciate that. And again, like I said, I don't know a ton about Joey Janela, other than typically what I see during WrestleCon week. Really, I don't go to any of the indies that he ever comes to.
You know what? Alexis P does say Janela runs like a toddler, and that's true. Motherfucker runs like Tommy Pickles. It's hilarious.
Yeah, well, he runs like Naito walks.
Yeah.
Doesn't mean you can't wrestle a good match.
It definitely does. Penelope Ford. There we go.
Penelope Ford.
Thank you. Racist fan rocks. I always have to enunciate.
Racist fan.
Mm-hmm.
Except I believe he wrote penal lip.
Penal lip.
I don't know exactly what a penal lip is, but I do believe it's Penelope.
I'm pretty sure we give one to Byron every week.
Big surprise that Flip Gordon won the over the budget battle royal thing with all the storyline that he had going into this thing. Was not really surprised.
You mean Chico El Luchador Jr.?
Yeah. Unmasked Chico El Luchador.
Yeah, that match was interesting. Got to see, when he actually got to wrestle Jay Lethal. We got to see some Black Machismo. I
loved it.
We got to see Lanny Poffo, the world's smartest man, who can also blow himself. You know that, Justin? I probably mentioned it on the show before.
I have heard about Leaping Lanny's skills of leaping on himself.
Yeah.
That's a talent, man. Look, in the wrestling business, anything that you have that's a talent, you use it.
That's why they call him the world's smartest man, because he wasn't like spending money on rats and shit. He's just like, I will stay in the hotel room and take care of this myself.
Wow. That's a pickle.
Yeah. Oh. Yeah. Pickles.
Well, I went to I knew that Jim Skay wasn't gonna make it, so I went to Philly's Best today and got myself a Philly cheesesteak, and it came with some pickles.
Damn, dude, how far is that from you? Is it that close? Or did you have to drive away?
There's a Philly's Best over in Sherman Oaks.
Oh, no shit. Okay.
Sherman Oaks? No, it's Encino. It's Encino. It's not far at all.
Encino is kind of like encroaching on pain in the ass territory.
Yeah. It's for you, for sure.
Yeah. But everything is pretty much a pain in the ass for me. Also, I gotta have a little shout out now that I'm thinking of it. Son of Monster Palooza is next week in Burbank.
Okay, racist fan. I can't say it.
I can't either.
RFR. Let's call him RFR. Racist fan rocks. Anyway, he's asking, when do we think we'll see Penta and Phoenix in a crowd of NXT? I'm thinking Mania weekend.
I'm thinking never, and I would bet you money that they're not going to be there Mania weekend.
I also don't know. I don't know if you send Penta to NXT. I think you bring him in and put him right on SmackDown. And I think you put Phoenix on NXT. And then you let Phoenix work his way up and then have the Lucha Brothers reunite at some point.
Sounds good.
And that's not to say that Phoenix is like somehow below Pentagon. I think that he would be better served there and they would get a bigger pop, especially with SmackDown going to Fox soon. I think that they would pop the numbers that they need and get that good Latino demographic in two places instead of one. I think they would be burning themselves out to put them in the same place if in fact they go.
But I
will say you will never see that either, just because I don't think you see both of them at the same time in the same place.
And plus, they're not going to be able to call them anything. So I think that if they were to sign, you'd see the press conference thing that you got with Shinsuke and with Sin Cara, and you wouldn't see them just sitting in the crowd. It would be treated as something more special, but also in a way to debut whatever their new character would be, since they can't be what they are now, pretty much.
Yeah, they're not Matt Riddle. Like, as much as people love the bro coming in, they're on a slightly higher level than that. I mean, they are international superstars, both of them at this point. And there's not a lot of people who are wrestling fans of anything outside of WWE who don't know who they are. Like, I'm sure there's plenty of WWE fans that have no clue who the fuck those guys are.
Mm-hmm.
But, yeah, we'll see. Alexis says Penta gets released the second he opens his mouth. I don't know. I think there's ways to protect him. I think he would certainly need somebody to talk for him, or they could do just like a silent monster gimmick for a while. And he does have a little bit of English, and he's been working on it. I think Phoenix is a little further along with his English right now than Pentagon.
Yeah, he's been studying for a while.
Yeah, he also moved
since he moved here. Yeah,
he also moved here, so he's around it a lot more. You know, and Pentagon, I believe, is still down in Mexico with his family and whatnot, and doesn't ever speak English unless he's at a wrestling show. But we'll see. My belief at this point is that there was an offer that was put out to them. I really don't know at this point if they ever seriously considered it. I believe there was an offer given to them. I believe it was a considerable offer, and I don't know if they're going to take it.
And when we say considerable offer, we mean like Nakamura money.
Yeah. At least for Penta. I don't know about for Phoenix, but and I've also heard that it's a package deal. That the deal does not extend to Phoenix by himself. It would have to be Phoenix and Pentagon. So that's what I've heard. That is hearsay. That is complete rumor.
Right.
I am not reporting that as news of any kind. I will not, unless I have more concrete facts, or unless, you know, Penta or Phoenix tell me themselves, or Vince McMahon tells me himself. And I don't have that kind of juice. Like, I can get Eric Van Wagner to tell me something. I can't get Vince McMahon to tell me.
Hey, pal. You want to talk about some luchadors?
Yeah, I don't see that happening, though. I do know a few people that have worked in the WWE and may be working there soon. So we'll see. Back to All In.
Yeah. That match was a highlight. I mean, especially for the early card. I didn't get too into Cody and Nick Aldis until Brandy ate that fucking brutal elbow.
I thought that was a great spot, and that got me into it too. And then I really liked the finish.
Yeah.
You know, and I loved old ass Earl Hebner being in there and DDP getting involved and whatever, you know, all the stuff, all the things. Like, somehow it worked. I liked the moment at the end, because, you know, having that match be that early in the card, having Cody being one of the promoters, you're like, you know that they should put it on him, but at the same time, you're like, but maybe he doesn't put him on himself. Maybe he swerves it. So it was almost like a double swerve to me that they just did it the way that it should have been done. So I was actually kind of surprised by the finish. As strange as that is, as predictable as the finish was, because of the whole setup and the scenario of it, I was kind of thinking, oh, they're probably not going to do that. So then when they actually did it, I was surprised.
Yeah, and I enjoyed it way more than I thought. Cody won me over by bringing his dog out. You know, that's a good dude.
Sucker.
Yeah, and yeah, it was what it was. I mean, it was entertaining. I don't know how prestigious the title is, but I know it meant something to Cody, so it's all good. And he had Glacier in his corner, and Glacier didn't kick anyone, so that was fucking bullshit.
I know you were pissed.
Yeah, I wanted to see a cryonic kick, at least one. He probably can't get it above like waist level now, though, or something.
You know, a cryonic kick to the knee, maybe.
Yeah, or the
calf.
dick, dude. Kick him in the dick with the cryonic kick.
If he could get all the way up there, now that's a spot.
Mm-hmm. Higher than Stan Lane got on his kicks.
So yeah, Cody's match was good. Let's see. We talked about the street fight. I didn't talk about the Green Arrow thing because I didn't see that match somehow. I missed the Stephen Amell match, and I guess he came out with one of his co-stars, that John or Josh Segura guy.
Yeah, who didn't do shit the whole time. And man,
I heard that Amell had a good spot where he like took a big dive and put himself through a table and stuff.
Yeah, I mean, that was cool. A lot of people were talking about how impressive he was, and really he just did a bunch of Shane McMahon shit. Like he did a Van Terminator like Shane McMahon did and ruined it for RVD. And so now Stephen Amell just ruined it for Shane McMahon probably too.
Well, that's good. That's good. I mean, once it gets passed down the line, like once I see the wrong guy doing the move once, then I want to see everybody do it and just fucking ruin it and just make it a basic move.
And Stephen Amell, kind of a ripped dude, right? Clearly on the Rick Rude workout because his legs were like mine. Like his upper body was like Jim's and his legs were like mine.
The second Taka Michinoku, I can't say
Michinoku.
Thank you. Michinoku gave up the Michinoku driver. Nothing was sacred to me anymore. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. That did it because you know who he gave it to, right? The fat belly guy who looks like he shouldn't be in a wrestling ring ever. That kid.
God, don't body shame Zack Sabre Jr. We have the same body. Fuck.
I would body shame the shit out of you too if you were claiming to be some kind of good ass wrestler.
I'd wear like a bodysuit or something like Gold Dust, you know? Yes.
That's terrible.
But speaking of Gold Dust, sorry he couldn't make it on this card. WWE wouldn't let him do it. Also, apparently they tried to get Mongo McMichael on the card and couldn't get him.
Huh.
It's too bad.
Is he under Legends contract or something?
Oh, fuck no. Who knows where he is, dude?
I'm gonna say.
But shit, the greatest horseman of all time, Steve Mongo McMichael, that would have been a good get.
That dude was pretty hoss the last time I saw him, though.
Oh, yeah.
He was getting into true hoss territory.
They probably didn't want to have to buy him an extra plane seat. That's why they didn't bring him in.
Oh, you can just get him a belt extender these days, man.
Unless it's Southwest. Oof.
Oh, God, I'm flying Southwest next week. Don't remind me.
I probably will be in like a month. So
what else didn't we talk about? The big matches. There was Jay Lethal Flip because Flip won the Battle Royal. That was decent, and I loved all the Black Machismo stuff. It worked on me. You know, but I'm also the one that liked when Stryker would do all the weird character gimmicks back in the day too. So.
And we got to talk about how tremendous it was that Joey not only got a boner while he was dead, but the Penis Druids not only saved his life, but they took Adam Cole away at the end of the match. Yeah. And then the only way they sold it on Twitter, Adam Cole tweeted, "I had a strange night last night." That's it.
That's it.
Yeah, that's it. I'm sure there'll be a Being the Elite about it if there isn't already, but shit, they should just leave it at that. I had a strange night last night.
Is that what we're calling those guys? Penis Druids? Is that what they're called now?
That's just what I've been calling them.
No, that's what I've seen. I've seen it other places too. People call them Penis Druids.
Mm-hmm.
It was but who were the Penis Druids? Were they indie wrestlers? Were they buddies? Who played the Penis Druids? Do we know?
Vinny Massaro.
I want to penis shame the Penis Druids.
It was Vinny Massaro 6 times. Somehow. No, I don't know. I don't know. One guy kind of looked like Sami Zayn, but I doubt it was him. And It's probably guys like you know, yeah. I don't know for sure that Vinny wasn't a penis druid.
I will say this: the children that were watching in the location where I was watching it, all believe that there were inflatable stormtroopers helping Joey Ryan.
That's a good save.
That wasn't at all.
He must really like Star Wars.
It wasn't at all. Some of the kids already knew who Joey Ryan was and thought that he was super sleazy from Lucha Underground.
Well, shit, you know what? Joey Ryan does like Star Wars.
Yeah, it could have been. It could have been.
Yeah.
Kenny Omega going over on Penta L0, or he came up with some new version of his name for this.
Penta L0. That's it.
It was just Penta L0 this time. Yeah.
Yeah.
I guess he wanted to stay absolutely clear of any infringement of any other version of him that had ever happened, or maybe it was because he was actually Jericho the whole time. Maybe Jericho pulled a Dorian on him and trademarked his name in the States as Penta L0 or Penta L0. So now he can do a Pentagon gimmick whenever he wants to.
Man, they did kind of like a greatest hits of the Pentagon character too, since you don't usually see him break people's arms outside of Lucha Underground, but you did here, and it was even though it kind of bit him in the ass a little bit later on. But yeah, such a great match, and Kenny did a great job getting Penta over to an audience that might not have seen him that much and might not have seen him in more of a long match structure, because in Lucha Underground you don't see that.
Right.
Because you get like 15 minutes edited to shit usually.
Right,
you know?
right. And then maybe, you know, every now and then you'll get one long one with him, but not a lot.
And this reminded me a lot of Penta's PWG work. And, you know, I love Kenny Omega too. And that was a great match.
Well, haven't these guys have wrestled in PWG before, right? This is not the first Kenny Penta meeting, is it?
Yeah, but it was like on sides of a tag or a 6-man. I think it might have been a 6-man.
Right.
And, so there wasn't much.
I mean, this is a big moment too, because clearly these guys are both at a place now that they were not at before any time they've crossed paths.
And Kenny could have got anyone he wanted to wrestle him, and he chose Pentagon.
Yeah, I mean, who else? That's a great choice.
Mm-hmm.
Like, what's your second choice from anyone in the Indies, anyone not WWE? What's your second choice?
Sid.
Well, that's your second choice. I mean, what's his second choice is, I guess, the way I should frame the question.
Maybe like, I don't know, like the blow-up doll from DDT, Yoshihiko. And
I mean, I know who I'd pick. I'd pick Eli Drake. Just because I know that he would get me over so good. That guy can draw so much heat and get people interested in a match cold out of nowhere on a one-night event better than anybody out there.
You know who I would have had, and it would have been just to get everyone talking about him because he wasn't on the card, would be like Flamita, since he should have been on this card too. Because goddamn, Bandito got on, and I love Bandito, but it would have been great if Flamita was on here too.
Well, but that would have been his spot.
Yeah. And where the fuck is Nightclaw? Is what I'm saying. Where the fuck is Nightclaw?
I think he's coming back. I think we should send DJ a very polite email and ask him to bring back Nightclaw. And I think it could happen.
Just be like, hey, DJ, where the fuck is Nightclaw, please?
I wonder what Papa Cueto would say about Nightclaw.
You know, I do not like him because he used to shit in a box. And that box was in my office.
Was he nesting? I wonder if he was nesting. Shit nesting? Have you heard about that?
Oh, no.
It's where you like pile up a bunch of toilet paper on the floor. It's for people that have this weird aversion to using the toilet. And they like will go into the bathroom, pile up a bunch of toilet paper on the floor, and then shit in the toilet paper and throw in the trash can instead of using the actual commode.
Wow. We should do that at Byron's place.
Oh, no. We're going to upper decker his new place when he gets one.
Oh, dude. How about a Shanta? Have you ever heard of that?
No, what's that?
Okay, so you like shit. Listen, chat room. This is important. You shit in a piece of tin foil, and then you roll it up, and you poke some holes in it, and then you open one of their drawers, like in the kitchen or something, and you put it like behind the drawer, like tape it on there, and they will never find where the shit smell is coming from.
Wow.
Yeah. It's called a Shanta. You're welcome. Don't fucking do it to me, chat room. Don't fucking do it to me.
Oh my God, that's amazing. Anyway, wow. I can't recover from that mentally because because we need to do it. Like it has to happen.
The problem is like I don't feel like I have the control to shit in a piece. Like I'd have to unroll a lot of tinfoil just to be safe.
I mean, there's work to be done to do something like that. Oh my God, Byron, are you kidding me?
Because you know how like Johnny Valentine, Greg the Hammer Valentine's dad was legendary for shitting and things, and he could shit in someone's shoes without getting shit on the shoes. Like he'd only get shit in the shoe.
Look at this. Byron is teasing us. This is what Byron is eating right now.
Bullshit. It's not a fucking salad. He's lying. Byron's like trying to be vegan or something. Is that like, what the fuck is that? Like a pot pie or something?
I don't know, but these are bacon wrapped dates up in here, I think.
Oh, I love bacon wrapped dates, dude. Oh.
This is why Byron is not here doing his job, people. I mean, though he did send the checks this week, so I guess we're still good because the show is still on the air and paid for.
Sent you a check. He didn't send me one.
Dude, as long as he pays me, I'll be here, guys. As long as Byron keeps paying me. Who else was what else am I oh, we're missing the other main. Anyway, yeah, the Penta match was great.
Okada versus Marty, too long. I never bought Marty as being able to win the match. Yeah, I both guys talented, great wrestlers.
But now there's people on the East Coast that have some Okada bucks finally.
Yeah.
I mean, it wasn't even like I know people in New York that got Okada bucks that went over to the show, and a bunch of people up in Cleveland and Chicago and Detroit and Michigan. A lot of people that went. This was like their first and only chance to have ever seen Okada. Yeah, whereas we get him out here every now and then.
Yeah, we get a couple New Japan cards a year now out here. But I heard they're worth about as much as Jeffrey dollars if you try to spend them. So don't spend them, just keep them.
Man, I'm gonna miss Jeffrey.
See, I don't yet because they're all turning into Halloween stores. Like every fucking Toys R Us is a Halloween Spirit or a Halloween City now.
But Casey, I still don't want to grow up. I'm a Toys R Us kid.
I know. I told you I finally got my King Diamond, right? Did I say that on the
show?
show?
No, you haven't said that on the show. You finally got it?
It took me a fucking month, man.
Oh,
God damn. I ordered it. Okay.
I love how Casey tells everyone else that this product is coming out. We all order them and got them like, I got mine 4 or 5 days early. Yeah. And then Casey gets his a month later. That's fucked up.
Yeah. Hey, Justin got his early. Fucking Robo got his, dude. And I told both of them it was on sale and they should buy it. They bought it after me and they got it first. What the fuck?
I got my my Jon Snow this week. Was the one I got this week. It's sitting around here somewhere. Game of Thrones.
I don't think I got any like toys. I bought some Halloween decorations at the 99-cent store.
I buy weird random stuff every now and then. Like I have a couple of limited edition Farscape action figures that like probably will never be worth anything that no one will care about, but they make me feel good because my collection is just weird and eclectic.
This is the second week that you mentioned Farscape in a row.
Really? Did I mention Farscape last week? What the fuck would I have to say about Farscape?
You used to Farscape LARP or some shit? You said something.
Oh, no. That was a Babylon 5 reference.
Oh, not Farscape. Never mind. That was Babylon 5.
Yeah. Okay. I have a mean Jakar.
Because I started shitting on J. Michael Straczynski's Spider-Man a little bit.
Exactly.
But, hey, let me tell you, this video game takes all the bad taste out of your mouth.
The Spider-Man thing?
Oh, man, it is one of the most fun games. Okay, like I love Spider-Man, right? One of my favorite superheroes of all time. But most of his video games are dog shit. There's been a few that haven't been, like Spider-Man 2 for the Xbox and PS2. That game was amazing, and this is a lot like a next-gen version of that. It kicks ass, man. It's basically like if you put Spider-Man in an Arkham game, but still tailored it to Spider-Man's sensibilities and tone so that it's still like a fun-loving game. Like I was just walking around, dude, on the street. People be like, what up, Spider-Man? And you like hit a button and you give them a 5, And like, it's not the same 5 every time. Sometimes he like gives them a 5. Sometimes he does like the double 5, like the rockers and shit. Sometimes he does like, he gives them a 5 and then he does the black hand side. It's amazing. And like, you know, he'll just talk to people. He'll be like, hey, what's up? And then like every once in a while you hear someone across the street. So you can't fool me, you menace. And it's great. J. Jonah Jameson has a talk show on the radio, and every once in a while it comes up while you're playing. And I heard that it's dynamic. So like if you're a shitty Spider-Man, some people will call in and say, hey, I was getting mugged and this motherfucker just web slung right past me and didn't even help. And like that'll happen. If you're a good Spider-Man, you'll never hear that. But if you suck as Spider-Man, you'll hear it. But yeah, I've had fun with it. I haven't played it a lot because, you know, I had to student teach today. I had to do homework today. I'm podcasting, so I'm sacrificing it right now. Chat room, you're fucking welcome.
I know, dude. I got a 4 a.m. call time tomorrow on a 13-hour shoot. At least it's an in-town one. But yeah.
Do you get to eat good food at least?
Yes. We're doing what is the restaurant we're doing tomorrow? It's over in Sherman Oaks. Oh, it's the Woodman. I don't know if I'm supposed to say that or not, but yeah, it's the Woodman. Come on by, say hi.
I've driven by it.
We're doing a brunch thing there. Like it's like a dinner place, but they do a badass brunch on the weekends. So we're filming their brunch tomorrow, so it should be pretty good.
Nice.
Yeah, and I hope to God if I'm showing up there at 4 a.m. they're gonna cook some food for me because ain't shit else gonna be open.
Yeah.
J-Bone, you were at fucking All In. I like to say it like that, like Cheech Marin would say.
Like,
All in
my butt. Oh. Like
and no Okada bucks for J-Bone. Oh, but he says he had an effing blast. You can swear in our chat room, J-Bone. It's okay.
Yeah, fuck. But if you had MMM bucks, we call them the time to fuck bucks.
We should do that.
The time to fuck bucks. Yes, we should. We should. Okay, that's merchandise.
Oh my God! Hashtag time to fuck bucks. Oh, that's so amazing.
Mm-hmm.
But then maybe the young bucks will think they're getting laid, and I know they're religious boys, so maybe they wouldn't like that.
You know how much Jim likes the young bucks and fucking, so he can take one for the team.
I don't know. I know you guys give Jim a lot of guff, but I think that Jim is secretly a one-woman man at heart.
Well, that's why we're having him fuck 2 dudes.
I think Jim is going to find the right young lady very soon, and then we're never going to see Jim again. She's going to make him buy a house in the hills, and then all the work that he does for the rest of his life is just going to go to keeping that young lady happy.
I think that he's going to get filled out like an application by 2 wrestlers from Victorville area, and it's gonna be called the Super Dick Party, and yeah, that's what you get for not being on the show, Jim. I hope you're listening, pal.
No, you knew that was coming. Okay, well, the one match, being that this show is called Mass Mats and Mayhem, that we haven't discussed. I mean, we discussed Pentagon, but we haven't talked about Rey Mysterio, Bandito, and Rey Fenix against, I don't know, some no-name guys from Japan and Ring of Honor.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, who cares about their opponents, but...
the part of the Golden Elite. Now, the Golden Elite includes Kenny Omega, right?
Yeah.
So this was 3/4 of the Golden Elite?
Right, and I will never really seriously shit on Kota Ibushi because not only is he from DDT, he lended me all of the great sex grunts that I gave to my Mr. Libido created character in Fire Pro Wrestling. And he also points to his head and yells Golden Shower. Another Ibushi taunt. So yeah, because Mr. Libido is a character from the Yakuza games who's a crazed sex maniac that just runs around in his briefs and talks about jerking off all the time. So he's my character in the New Japan story mode. He's my young lion.
Kota Ibushi is a phenomenal wrestler, and the Young Bucks are 2 of the most entertaining wrestlers out there. I don't know if I would call them phenomenal, but I'm definitely a fan.
I've been watching these guys since like 2006 or some shit on the indies, and I'm so glad to see them be successful. Like I say it a lot on this show, but it does mean a lot to see guys like them and Willie Mack that I saw wrestle in a parking lot in front of like 50 people.
Yeah, no, it makes
doing
a
so
big
good.
deal. And, I love to see where Kevin Cross is at right now, too. Like, I'd like to see him go even further. But, like, the fact that, 2 years ago when he first came on this show, he was, doing FSW and people didn't know who he was.
Yeah,
he was trying to break into, bar wrestling and 60-seater venues here in Southern California back then. But in the same thing with the Young Bucks. I mean, I know a lot of people around here in my neighborhood been watching those guys and PWG and out here in SoCal for a long time. And to see them where they're at now and pulling this whole event off with Cody is pretty damn crazy. And look, fucking booking themselves against Bandito, Rey Fenix, and Rey Mysterio is amazing too. That's just smart. I love what Rey's doing with his kind of one-offs right now. And I didn't think Rey Fenix looked as good as I wanted Phoenix to look, to tell you the truth. But I think there's a little bit of fatigue too. I mean, he's been putting on fucking 4-star and 5-star matches all over the world recently.
And I haven't had a chance to put over Rey Mysterio as Wolverine,
which was amazing. I wanted to, I mean, I'm leaving kind of Rey for last because I don't know what it is, but his knees look the best I've seen them since like 2 or 3 WWE runs back.
Dude, that stem cell therapy you can get now is no fucking joke. Seriously.
I mean, was he even wearing the braces underneath the pants this time? Whatever he is wearing isn't as bulky as what it used to be.
Right. And
I mean, he had like the full Stone Cold thing going on for a while there.
Yeah, remember when he fucking killed the Undertaker with it?
Yeah.
Yeah. But man, he looked great. Bandito is the shit. I mean, you guys should all be watching him now. I shouldn't have to say this, but he's like the upcoming guy you should be watching.
So what is the deal with Bandito? I mean, why do you think people should be watching him?
He does everything well, and he kind of looks like Cobra Commander, and that's like awesome.
Yeah, good gimmick is always a big part of it, right?
And yeah, man, if he ever wears blue gear, dude, he will look so much like Cobra Commander. It'll be the shit. Fucking 5 stars, man. Cause yeah, I mean, Cobra Commander, one of the most influential people in my life. Him and Skeletor.
Big surprise.
Yeah.
Like everybody is just jaw dropped right now. They can't believe that Cobra Commander is a big influence on your life.
That's why we're so nice to the Snake Tribe on this show. Except for maybe Vibora, but we said we were sorry.
By the way, Brian and Thunder Rosa, if you guys are listening this week, I'm gonna be out in your neck of the woods in a couple 3 weeks. Maybe I'll just bring you guys some t-shirts because I forgot to ask you guys again for the PO box you wanted them sent to. So maybe I'll just bring them to you guys.
You guys should hit them with the 3D.
Nope, doesn't need to happen. So yeah, All In was a success. The whatever the name of that 0 Hour on WGN did Bafo numbers for them.
Oh man, I didn't see that because that's not on New Japan World. They actually kept that as a WGN exclusive.
Yeah, so that was let's see, Briscoe Brothers versus
Scorpio.
SoCal Uncensored. Love Frankie Kazarian. Still can't believe it.
Fucking love Scorpio Sky too, man.
Oh, absolutely. Well, Scorpio Sky's got slightly younger legs than Kazarian, though, right?
Honestly, I don't think
Frankie seems like he's been around forever to me.
Scorpio Sky has been too, though. Yeah.
So, and that was the Matt Cross match.
No,
on there
that was on the regular show.
What else was on there? Because I just
I gotta say, never really seen MJF in his trifling ass fake Burberry gear, but
funny though.
Motherfucker impressed me, man. I liked his stuff.
Wasn't half bad. Like, wasn't the snooze fest that it could have been.
Yeah. I also don't like how Son of Havoc has like really nice gear, but he only wears one of those wristbands and the other is taped. Like match, it looks dumb,
Yeah, I don't know exactly why he's doing that. Probably for some sound effects.
He probably thought it looked more punk to do it. He's about as punk as Byron.
I I did not catch Impact this week like I was supposed to. I'm sorry, Mr. Cross. Please don't kill me. I will watch it, just not obviously in time for this particular episode, but I'm going to get to it. I heard there was some fun Catrina stuff. Catrina. I'm sorry, Catrina. Katrina's dead, y'all. Which is just, I'm really depressed, man. Like, it's not enough that we lost Burt Reynolds this week, you know, because a little piece of my soul died when Burt Reynolds died. But Catrina, man. Or Catrina. Now I'm getting them mixed up. Catrina dying on Lucha Underground is really, really surprising and awful. Like, we had a feeling when we saw the trailer that this might be happening. Right. And we had no inside information other than the trailer because we have not seen the vignettes. Nobody knows what happens in the vignettes. Other talent on the show doesn't know what happens in the fucking vignettes. Right. Half the fucking locker room probably didn't know Catrina was dying until they saw this shit. So I'm a little bummed. I've been a big fan of Carly. She's been really nice the 2 times I've ever spoken to her. Super humble, really down to earth, totally cool. Can't get her on the damn show because she's so busy and all of her shit goes through her agent. But she's super cool.
And them killing her off. Them killing her off, dude, means one less like gothy monster, scary kind of wrestler, and those are my favorite kind of wrestlers, dude. And that bumps.
Yeah, I mean, I liked how she said that her and Mill had ruled the underworld together, but now it's time to move on and shit. So we'll see. We'll see. Maybe this means there's an opening for Carmen Perez to come back in and take her spot. How dope would that be?
That would be awesome to see Carmen Perez Rosnes come back.
There might still be something with her. I'm not sure that she's not going to get seen at some point this season. I don't know how they would do it or what, but
dude, she's got to gun down Melissa Santos in cold blood for killing her daughter.
That would be dope. That would be dope.
Yeah.
And what they should do, instead of flying Carmen back to shitty LA, what they should do is fly Melissa out there for a vacation and reward her for all the work she's put in and film some shit overseas with the 2 of them.
I say just never do. I just say do the whole thing in 2 shots and not ever show them in the frame with each other. And
oh yeah, you can just pay a camera guy to do some shit over there.
No, man, not even a camera guy. Like Melissa's
ever do it on a cell phone?
Yeah. Melissa's side will be like all skip and polished and shit, and then Carmen's will be with a cell phone, and then you put them together.
I mean, even if it's just a little vignette where you see her like on FaceTime and she's like, "Bitch, I'm coming to get you." Would be great. I would be happy with that. They gotta get our girl Carmen back in there. And Carmen's such a sweetheart too. She sent us that video. I know the audio was kind of crap on it, but she sent us that video. She's always still checking on her posts. She still listens to the show. So thank you, Carmen, for being a big supporter, because we've always been a big supporter of yours.
Yes, and we're trying to get you on the show killing people now. That's our new idea.
Yeah.
Because everybody's killing somebody on this show now. So.
True. But it sounds like she's got a wonderfully charmed life over there, wherever she. Where's she?
Is it Norway
or Norway, Netherlands?
Somewhere over there. Scandinavia.
Some Scandinavian country. All right, I got to talk UFC, Casey, because I don't know if you know this, but Nico Montana is out. She's out of her fight, and it was kind of bullshit, I think. I don't know.
I have a lot of like GTA 4 jokes. Have you played the game?
No.
Because the guy that you play is Nico. So his cousin's always calling, say, "Hey Nico, you want to go play some darts?" So maybe she had to play darts.
Like the cousin between that guy and Tony Montana.
Mm-hmm. No, that sucks because that fight would have been good. But have they announced a replacement, or is it just off?
It's just off. Valentino Shevchenko, because it happened at the weigh-in. Apparently, basically what they're saying happened is that the UFC doctors went to check on Nico and they pulled the plug, something about her kidneys and whatnot.
Ooh.
Valentina Shevchenko came out afterwards and was basically like, I don't think she ever wanted to fight me. And Valentina was saying this months ago. She predicted like this fight would never happen. She was like, okay, Dana can book it, but and I'll make weight and I'll be ready and I'll do a camp, but I don't expect this fight to ever happen. She never believed.
Which is a really fucked up thing for a fighter to say.
Oh, you want to talk about getting inside somebody's head? Damn, You're just like, look, I'll train, but this bitch ain't gonna show. And that was it. I mean, that was how she threw it down. And she still was basically saying that after this, she was like, look, yeah, maybe it was something with her kidneys, but she's always been sick. Like she's had the belt over a year. And you know, she won it on the Ultimate Fighter, and not many people look at her as a very legit champion. I mean, you know, Bisping got more credit as a champion than Nico did. You know, she beat Roxanne Modafferi, who is by all means a journey woman and been around the business forever and a solid fighter and can beat a lot of people out there. But, you know, her record is just barely over 500 at this point. She's not like the most winningest fighter. So Nika beating her for the title didn't really amount to much. You know, and it's this great weight class where all these women are coming back to it. You've got like Jessica I coming in there and other, you know, 125 is a viable weight. It's a good weight for women's fighting, women's flyweight. So, yeah, her holding this belt for this whole year, and Valentina Shevchenko has been like, I'm making this weight now, and I never get to fight this chick. And apparently they have stripped Nico Montana of the belt.
That was my next question. Okay.
Yeah, she's officially stripped now. I think Dana is just kind of like, you know, I really wanted to give her a chance. I wanted to see her fight, but she's pulled out like 2 or 3 times. I mean, this fight was supposed to happen in July, I think, originally. And I agree with him. Like, it's just time to move on. So Valentina Shevchenko is going to get a title fight sometime in the next couple of months. I think they're going to give her at least a chance for a 6-week camp against whoever they announce.
Probably Jessica I, right? Like, that's the one that would make the most sense.
I don't think so. I don't
Really?
know. I don't know who Valentina is going to get. I think there's some people out there. Who knows? Maybe even Joanna Champion tries to go to 25.
Oh, now that's a fight. Fuck, man.
Yeah, and I think that might be why they're not really putting a real name to it yet. You know?
Yeah. That's a fucking fight right there, Justin.
Well, and the landscape the landscape at 125 for women too is very still kind of developing. You know, there's a lot of women coming into it from other weight classes. Especially the ones who are coming down from 35. Dana's going to probably want to see, or Shelby is probably the one in charge of Sean Shelby, is probably going to want to see them make weight at least once first at 25 before he books anything big. Now, somebody coming up from 15, you know, like Joanna Jędrzejczyk, that's a different story. So we'll see.
The question is, though, Joanna goes up, how fast are her hands at that point? You know,
I think they're plenty fast. I just think she's going to be a lot more susceptible to the wrestling, like a lot. I mean, she's really going to have to figure out some type of old school Chuck Liddell sprawl and brawl technique to really survive at 25, I think. Because some of those girls, the wrestling, especially the ones coming down from 35, they might eat her up. So the way the card looks now for UFC 228, which is tomorrow evening, and the good news about working early is I'll hopefully be home in time for that. We've got, of course, Tyron Woodley versus Darren
Till. Hold on, Justin. Susan wants to know, isn't Herrig 125?
Felice was at.
I thought she was 35, right?
Yeah, but she can fight 25. I think she fought 25 in Bellator.
Shit, that would be.
And again, that's why it's such a confusing weight class, because a lot of these girls got pushed up, like Herrig and Jessica I and some of these other people got pushed up to 35 in UFC. And, you know, Jessica I felt bad for because she was crushing at 25. It was always a tough weight cut for her, and she hated it. So she was happy to go to 35. She was like, I'm never going back to 25. But then these bigger girls that were cutting down were it was hard for her. I mean, she just wasn't getting where she needed to get to with them. So, yeah, we'll see. Again, it's a complicated landscape, but I think this stuff with Nico Montana is just really clouding it more, and they need to get her out of there. So now you've got let's see, Darren Till versus Tyron Woodley. We had one of Tyron's sponsors on a couple of weeks ago, and obviously he thinks Tyron's going to win. My boy Kitron or Kitron.
I've never met that dude except when he's on the show, but I can already tell I fucking love that guy. That dude was a great guest, man. Yeah,
he's fucking Kui, the fuck king of St. Louis, soon to be the fuck king of the world. Dude makes fucking great food, and he's got this other place that's a ramen house called Nudo. That's badass too. Anyway, Darren Till versus Woodley. The odds are on Woodley still right now, but going, and I gotta say, there is a world in which Till could win. And there's a world where that's really good for the UFC too. He's not Bisping. If you get Till as a European champion, that's big money. But I think Tyron's wrestling, he's just going to put it on him. Like, as much as I don't necessarily want to see it as a fight, I think if he GSPs him, he wins easily, can just sit on this guy, get riding points the whole time, make the kid look bad, and win the fight pretty easily.
Do we see him fight like that usually? I mean...
No, but he's got that ability. He knows how to do that. And Tyron's a world-class wrestler. He's in great shape right now. So I imagine the smart game plan is that. But we'll see. You never know. He might try to bang with the kid, and that could be, I mean, if he tries to bang, that could be Till's day real easily. Then now promoted is the Jessica Andrade, Karolina Kowalkiewicz fight. I think that's been moved up into the slot that was Nico and Shevchenko, but they're 115s now. Though I could see Karolina going up to 125 too if she needed to.
So you got in that one, Andrade?
I'm actually gonna take Karolina.
Yeah,
I think she's gonna stick the jab out there enough to make it real difficult. She's got a good reach advantage on Andrade. Andrade is beast on the ground though, so. Karolina's going to have to keep it standing and really throw leather to win that fight. But I think she will. I think she is more determined than people know.
I have too much of a soft spot for my Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu people.
Okay. And then take Andrade because she's got it in spades. And then I'm never going to say this kid's name right. Zabit Magomedov. Magomedov, something like that.
Dude, they just need to change his name to John Smith.
Like, if there was ever a fighter that needed a nickname that doesn't have one, and they've tried to give him ones a few times, and he's just like, no, I don't need your nickname. It's like, oh, you're kidding me, because you're like the fourth best fighter in the whole UFC, and you have the hardest name to say. You're never going to be famous, dude.
He'll be like, oh, hey, Urban's congratulating us on getting our shirt on Lucha. Thank you.
Yeah, this shirt.
Baby. Urban did it first, but I gotta say, man, they give the guy the nickname Supercalifragilisticexpialidocious, and just see how much he can fit in one of those text boxes. That's all I want.
Oh my God, Sharapov, something like that. Anyway, he's fighting a guy with a nickname, Killer B, Brandon Davis, who is going to lose miserably.
Yeah. And
going to murder Killer B.
And Killer B, come on. It just makes me think of B. Brian Blair.
Like, I'm pretty sure he knows that he's a walking dead man.
Yeah.
And I feel kind of bad for him.
Or fucking jumping Jim Brunzell. Come on.
Let's see. This should be very good and very interesting. My boy, John Dodson, who is half Filipino, half black, and likes to tell people to Fila Negro.
That's awesome.
He says that. That came from him, not me. Versus Jimmy El Terror Rivera. I guess if it's Rivera, you have to say it like Matt Serra says Terra. So Jimmy Rivera El Terra.
El Terra Rivera.
El Terra Rivera. I love Matt Serra. He is amazing. He is the only guy in the world that could rhyme Sarah and terror. Those words do not rhyme unless you're Matt Serra saying them. Yeah, I'm the terror, Matt Serra. Sorry, I'm on a complete rant here. Anyway, that's a tough fight. It's at 135 pounds because Dodson left when he couldn't beat DJ, so he's up at 135 now, and he is way beefier. Maybe because he has a fro, but Jimmy Rivera is fucking fierce. So I want to say that Dodson wins this fight, but it's a good. I'm going to take Dodson, and I'm going to pick this as the fight of the night. I think that you're like for two little dudes, they're both coming in with hard, heavy hands.
Yeah,
a lot of muscle.
Two little dudes that'll fuck up your shit, man.
They are going to run circles around each other and swing crazy leather. Like, don't blink, guys. This is the fight to watch, if you ask me.
Awesome. Awesome. And this is on the main card, right?
This is on the main card now, yeah. And that fight should be. I mean, I know those guys are ranked 5 and 7 at 135, but I think they deserve to be up there. And then rounding out the main card, let's see, is what, Al Hassan and Price, I think.
Is it Vincent?
Sorry,
Price?
I'm looking at two different sources because they changed the cards around so much, and some of my my normal sites don't have the update after the women's featherweight championship fell off. Or yeah,
my pick for that fight is Vincent Price.
No, it's Nico Price, the hybrid, versus Abdul Razak Al Hassan. Both awesome. Both only have one loss. I'm probably going to take Al Hassan. I just think he's got the speed, though. I think the reach advantage goes to Nico. Nico is a little bit shorter, but he's one of these guys who's like, when he just sits his arms at his side, they're down to like his knees. He's got like that John Jones thing going on.
He's got like spider arms. He's like when Freddy's going down the fucking hallway. And
he's like a white dude with spider arms, which is interesting. So, and then
I wonder if when he calls people on the phone, his tongue pops out and he says, "I'm your boyfriend now, Nancy." So it's a little shout out for my Elm Street fans out there.
Scraping the walls with the extended arms.
Yeah. Oh man. Speaking of Vincent Price, though, his cookbook is all weird 70s ass food I've never heard of. It's a little scary. There's not pictures. I have to like fucking Google what everything is. I mean, there's like some pictures in the middle, but there's like barely any. They just literally pretty much reprinted his cookbook from the 70s without like updating it graphically at all. So yeah. I don't know what I'm going to make out of it. One of my friends made like this cheesy potato dish and it looked pretty fucking good.
Well, you got to practice it. You're not going to wait until Halloween to make one of these dishes, right?
No, dude, but Spider-Man happened, you know, like I wanted to do it this weekend.
We're really not going to see you until Halloween because of Spider-Man. Wait, isn't Monster Palooza this weekend?
Next weekend.
Next weekend. One more week. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. And if you didn't get tickets for Saturday, you're fucked because they already stopped selling them online. And
I'm sure you could get one scalped out front, right?
Well, you know what? I have 5 tickets right now, and if you offer me $200 a piece, I will fuck over all of my friends. They don't listen to this podcast.
I have an extra ticket for Bola. I don't know if Ruby has given it to anyone yet because I told her she could give it away, but I bought a night 3 ticket for Bola, and I cannot go. I will not be in town. So I can't guarantee that it's still available, but if you're interested, hit me up or hit at a Red Sapphire. That's Ruby, and she is the one in possession of my ticket. So if you want it, hit her up or hit me up and let me know. And then on the FX1 card, I'm not going to hit these too hard, but Carla Esparza, the Cookie Monster versus Tatiana Suarez. I believe Carla will win that fight.
Worst fucking name.
But Tatiana Suarez is undefeated. What, Cookie Monster?
Fucking terrible.
She likes to beat up that cookie, yo.
Yeah, apparently. Shit.
It might be a better name than you know.
Yeah.
I'd like to think that her having that nickname means that you never get to know.
Yeah, she's gonna munch down on that cookie. See, because I would pick the Count, dude. Come on, it's fucking vampire. You know, if someone like, how come no one has the name the Vampire? It's always like a little selection on some of the UFC games. Why?
Well,
why
didn't Arlovsky wear those Vampire Fang masks for a long time? Didn't he kind of get the vampire nickname a little bit?
He kind of did, and you know, he has like the heritage that. He's like from a vampire country, you know?
Which is probably why he did that. Anyway, I think a lot of people are taking Tatiana in that fight. I think she gets handed her first loss by the Cookie Monster. I could be wrong, but that's my pick, and I'm sticking to it.
Yeah, the Cookie Thumper is gonna take it.
I don't know if that's her name. Let's see. Oh, my boy, Funkmaster Aljamain Sterling versus Cody Starman, the Spartan, who is like, I think he's undefeated or he's only lost 1. But I think that Aljo is. I think he's back in the mix, and he better win this fight, or Matt Serra and Ray Longo are going to have their foot so far up his ass.
You know what? If your name's the Funk Master, I'm already in your corner. But if your name's Starman and you're not the dude from pro wrestling.
No, it's Stuntman. Stuntman. There's no R in it.
There's no R. You know what? It still reminds me of that shitty movie. I hated that movie, Starman. I thought it fucking sucked.
Let me see if there's anything else really interesting on here. Diego Nightmare Sanchez.
Yes.
Yes. Amazing. He's I like this. Him and Jim Miller are both on the UFC prelims, and they're both fighting guys with the last name White. They're both basically fighting generic white guys.
Yeah, literally. Sounds like an episode of Lucha Underground. All right.
And if they don't just completely they're big name guys and they're putting them on the UFC Fight Pass prelims, they have to destroy these kids. One kid, the kid Diego's fighting is 14-8 and he's from England. If Diego Sanchez can't beat some kid who's 14-8 who calls himself the Thundercat and his last name is White, if he can't beat that guy, then Diego Sanchez better leave his fucking gloves in the ring.
My name is the Thundercat Meatloaf White, and I think I'm gonna beat him. Come on, I'm gonna get a win for Phantasmar now that he's lost his mascara.
Love it. And then Jim Miller, who I just like. I like the Miller brothers in general because they just grind and they're dirty and they're grimy, and every move they do is way too close to your face, and they'll like rub an elbow on the side of your neck. They just are mean. And I liked Clay Guida for the same reason. Clay Guida wasn't much to watch, but he would rub his chest hair across your eyeball, your eye socket.
Deeper the shit out of you.
It was just amazing. And Jim Miller's kind of like that too. And Jim Miller has no problem bleeding for your attention and your affection.
Also, much like Clay Guida, actually. Yeah, exactly. and Diego Sanchez.
Yeah. So, even though these are on Fight Pass, they should be one-sided slobber knockers for the veterans, and they should be fun to watch. And there's a few other fights on there that aren't really that interesting to me that you never know might turn out to be interesting, but I don't know much about the guys. I watched a little bit of WWE this week, but I'm going to talk about WWE next week because we've talked about plenty of stuff this week. We'll talk a little bit about AAA and stuff next week too, and where Cross's head is at with some of that.
Oh, can we get him on?
He's kind of shooting a little bit these days. I don't, or maybe he's not. He could be working, but it sounds like a shoot.
He can come on anytime he wants to talk shit about whoever he wants.
It might be time to get Kevin back soon because since the last time we've had Kevin, he's debuted in Impact and was, I don't think that had happened last time he was on. I think we knew it was going to happen, but we couldn't talk about it yet.
Yeah, how I said that Joey Janela would be the Wang World Television Champion? Kevin Cross would be the Wang Pancrase style championship. And because we would have, or like a UWF style champion, because the WA in Wang stands for Wrestle Arts. It's a ripoff of Battle Arts.
I really want to do a promotion where wrestling matches are set up a little more MMA style, where the premise is there's 3 rounds, except I would do them as 3-minute rounds. There's 3 rounds and there's judges, and you could get to the end and, still have it be kind of like wrestling, but a little resemble MMA more.
Shit, dude, we got to get you on some UWF. That would be your favorite thing in the world.
Maybe.
Yeah. I'll have to send you some stuff. I even got Byron on board with the Vader shit. Send it to me. Yeah, Takada Vader will change your life.
I'm not going to have a whole lot of time in the next few weeks, and hopefully, I think we'll still be able to get MMMshow in next Friday too, in the next couple of weeks, because I think the restaurants that I'm doing on the road those days are early, so I'll be starting at like 5 a.m., so I should be done in time to do it. Well, plus I'll be in the East Coast. I'll be in the Eastern time zone, so it should be really easy to get a couple in.
And I want to tell everyone that's listening to the show at this point, Urban, I know you're in the chat. I know you have a PS4. If you have a PS4, get Spider-Man. You will not be disappointed. I'm fucking loving it right now.
Oh, I like how Urban said, "Congrats on getting your shirt on Lucha Bros," because it makes it sound like Penta and Phoenix are wearing our shirt. Because that really would be epic if it was Penta and Phoenix and not just Striker.
I'd probably jizz a little, actually. But
yeah, I just came a little bit thinking about it.
Yeah,
it's kind of a nice feeling. All right, that's it. No need to prolong this. Byron's not here. Meatloaf isn't here waiting to say something because Byron keeps talking over him. Jim isn't here talking about how much he slays. It's just me and you, brother. And I'm not afraid to just say, stay calm, stay in the mix.